Greetings, everyone, and thank you for participating in today's Trident Academy session. Improve the quality of your productions or your assets by using Panduit Identification Solutions. It will be presented by Frederick Kalb, Senior Business Development Manager at Panduit EMEA. I'm Mainem, Channel Sales Executive at Trident Technology Services, and I'll be moderating the webinar for today. The webinar will start shortly. If you have any questions, please submit them through the Q&A functionality in the control panel. Frederick will be answering all your questions live at the end of the session. Thank you. Now, without any further delay, I leave the stage to Frederick. Thank you, Frederick.
Thank you very much, Amal. And let me start this webinar today, but first of all, by a big thank you to each of you for joining us for this webinar today. So today's theme is about improving the quality of your identification work. And I'm happy to have the opportunity to share information on how to do this by using the ID solutions from Panduit. Let me start by sharing the webinar agenda with you. As you can see on the screen, we will be presenting some new solutions, and we have also reserved, as mentioned, some time at the end of the session for all the question and answers. So do not hesitate to ask your questions in the chat box. We will be happy to answer them at the end. And I thank you in advance for all the great questions you will put in the chat box. So let me start that way and sharing also some background about me. So when I started 20 years ago at Panduit, and I would say even since the beginning of my career, if I can name it that way, that means over 30 years back, identification was not the most critical thing in the industry. Let me say it that way. But the situation has changed over the years, moving from, let me say, no label or handwritten labels to labels requests on almost every single cable or device. Why this change, you would ask me? I would say a good job identification brings added value to your products or to your installation. It offers a clear view of the harness, the control panel, the system, the device on which you put the labels. But that's the first step. But even it allows effective control or maintenance work afterwards. So that's also a key point why today identification has become essential in the world. And I will go, let me say, so far as to say that it is used almost everywhere today, in all types of industries, like those listed on the screen. You have control panel, oil and gas, wire harness, so a lot of markets that you are well knowing, I'm sure. And my experience allows me to say that this becomes really reality, in each single project. And this evolution will continue in the future. Identification is and will be a key element of all projects now and in the future. Of course, in these different markets, you have a multitude of applications. And we have solutions to meet all types of applications. This goes from the terminal block marking labels, the one you see at the top left of the screen, to the pipe marking labels at the bottom right. And you see different other applications, including heat shrink, component labels, cable markers. So our solutions have been developed to meet the constraints of the various applications that appears on the screen. And as you can see, we are talking here about industrial quality labels, not office type labels, no paper labels or so in our offering, really industrial quality labels. And when it comes to industrial quality labels, that means also different type of materials, depending on the environment in which we are operating. You have the list of available materials displayed on the screen. So I will not deepen into these too much, because I would say the duration of today's webinar would not be enough. But I'm happy to answer a lot of questions or all the questions about our materials in the question and answer session at the end. Only thing I would like to mention here is that vinyl and polyester are the most common used materials in label applications. And we from Panduit and also the Trident team are happy to support you by selecting the right material depending on your application. Because as you can see on the screen, if you take polyamide, the first one at the top of the list, it's a material was used when you face very high temperatures. So that's just an example. If you have questions, feel free to put them in the chat box, and we will be happy to answer that. And if some of the people in the audience would like to have a webinar dedicated more in depth to the materials, let us know, and we can certainly organize something in the near future. So when we deepen into identification solutions, as you are all aware, the software is a key part of such a solution. Our software, named EasyMark Plus, is really a great tool. Why? Because it is very intuitive and it's an easy to use solution. So what you see on the screen is what you will get on your label. So it's really very easy to generate labels by using these solutions. In addition to EasyMark Plus, we offer also CAD Connect, so it's the one at the bottom of the slide, which is an additional module which allows the customers which are using AutoCAD or Visio to increase their efficiency by extracting directly the data from the design software and bring it directly into EasyMark Plus. That's really a great way to improve your efficiency when it comes to creating labels. Before deepen more EasyMark Plus, we have a polling question for you. Are you using a label creation software? We give you some time to answer the question. Thank you in advance. All right, I see that 38% of the attendees are using label creation software. That's very interesting data. And also that a lot of you don't use creation softwares. So for the ones who use a software, it would be nice if you can share the one you are using in the chat box, just giving the name of it. And if you want to say I'm happy with, or I would like something different, do not hesitate to share these comments in the chat box. So let me deepen a little bit more into EasyMark Plus. So as I indicated for a few minutes, it's a very user-friendly and intuitive solution. What you see on the screen is what you will get on your label. And again, here, if you want to see more in details the capacities of this software, let us know. And the Trident team and myself, we will plan a dedicated session to this topic, because effectively it's something for which we need a little bit more time as the one we have today to cover the full ID solution. As mentioned on the screen, this software can be used as well for electrical solutions as for network infrastructure solutions, because I think you know, most of you know that Panduit is acting in both type of markets, the network infrastructure and the electrical business. And Trident is our partner on both sides of the business. To come back to EasyMark Plus, based on our own experience, because we are using this software by our own to build and create labels, but also the feedback from customers who use this software since a longer time, you see that we are able, or they are able, to reduce the labeling time by up to 75%. That's a nice improvement and a good way to be more efficient. You see on the right side of the screen that this software is available in 11 different languages, that it's able to drive all our printers, our TDP printers, MP printers. I will share more details about these solutions in a few minutes. But you can also use this software to drive your, let me say, standard desktop printers, inkjet printers, laserjet printers. So if you have an Epson or another brand, you can use our software to generate labels with your desktop printer. One very nice feature is that you can access to a trial version of EasyMark Plus on our website. You can download it and play with the software during 19 days, 3 months, to see how easy it is to create labels by using this solution. And the last point, but it's also of interest, when you buy EasyMark Plus, you buy it once. All the upgrades are free. When we add new font features or new labels to our offering, we upgrade the software and you have free access to these upgrades. So you only have to pay once for the software. The rest of the time, it's free for you. That's effectively a differentiator between our solution and some other solutions that you can find in the market. I mentioned that EasyMark Plus can drive different printers. So let me dedicate 2 slides to the printers that you can find in Panduit's portfolio, because that's also a key part of an ID solution. Here again, we are speaking about industrial printers, not desktop printers like the Epson brand I named previously. So here we are in thermal transfer, on a thermal transfer printer, an industrial printer. The one you see on the screen, let me say, is our most popular desktop printer. And I will say it is the best solution for low to medium printing needs. This printer offers, with the 300 dot per inch, a great printing quality for all industrial applications. 300 dpi is something that is sufficient, let me say, for all industrial type of applications. Please note that we have also printers for high quantities, like the 2 ones on this slide. So the main difference between the 2 units, the TDP43 and the TDP40H, is the print resolution. 300 dot per inch on one side, 600 dot per inch on the second side. That's really if you want to get to a high, very high printing quality. Perhaps you have seen also, if you had a look on the print speed on the previous slide, that these two printers are 2 times faster in terms of printing speed, because here you can print up to 20 centimeters per second. So that's really one of the reasons why we name or we see these two printers as high quantity label printing solutions. After the desktop printer, I would like to move to the portable printers. The MP100/E and the MP300/E are new products that have been added to our solution portfolio for some months. And they have met with great success since their launch. So let me deepen a little bit more into these two printers. So I will start with the one on the left, the MP100/E, with a very small mobile printer. As you see on the screen, you don't have a keyboard on this printer. Why? Because you will drive it through a mobile app. I will come to that on my next slide. So you can use a laptop and EasyMark Plus to generate labels on these MP100, but you can also use a smartphone application to print labels. As you see on the screen, you can print labels up to 1 inch wide. So that's, let me say, sufficient for a lot of applications in the control panel market, in the network infrastructure market, if you have to identify cables, patch cords, such kind of things. That's also one of the reasons why you see it here mentioned on the screen. This printer offers the integration with Fluke Linkware Live software. That means that when you test a connection, you can automatically generate the labels with the informations of the test by using these solutions and using the Fluke Linkware Live capabilities. On the right side of the screen, you see the MP300/E. So that's really the new generation of our handheld mobile printer. So it's for the one who know the previous Panduit solutions. It's the new printer who replaced the LS8 one, who was a little bit out of date. So this is really the MP300, the new desktop printer. This printer offers a 360 dpi print resolution. That's the highest print resolution in the market when it comes to such portable printers. You see that you have, in this case, a keyboard in front that allows you to generate directly your labels. But you can also connect this printer to your laptop and use EasyMark Plus to print labels directly on the printer. That means that you can prepare your work in the office, creating all the labels on EasyMark Plus, take your laptop and your printer on site, connect both together, and generate the printing there. So it's really a smart solution that you can use in different configurations. You see that here you can go up to 1.5 inch with labels. So that's also leading in the market. Most of our competitors are limited to 1 inch. We go to 1.5 inch. And I think one or two, let me say, two very nice features. First of all, this printer is delivered with a rechargeable battery pack. That means that you don't have to buy separate batteries and change them when they are empty. Here you have a rechargeable battery pack which is delivered with the printer. You can buy a second one separately if you want. And also you have magnetic attachment accessories who are delivered original at the beginning with the printer. And this means that you can put it on all metallic surface and use it with one hand because these magnetic devices will maintain the printer in place. If you have questions about these two printers, do not hesitate to put your questions in the chat box. For the MP100/E, I mentioned that you can generate labels by using mobile apps. You see them here on the screen. You see that we have one that we name EasyMark I label. This is more, let me say, for the electrical part of the business. And we have EasyMark Network app, which is more for the network infrastructure applications. Both have similarities and differences. The best for you, if you want to test them, you can download them for free on your iPhone or on all Android devices in order to test them. So you have the name here on the screen. Do not hesitate to test these solutions. You will not be able to print if you don't have an MP100, but you will see how easy it is to generate a label. What I would encourage you to do is also to try voice to text, because these applications give you the ability to speak with your phone and to get the result on the label. It's very intuitive. I had the chance to demonstrate this feature before the COVID time to some customers, and all were surprised and appreciated this feature. So I really encourage you to test this functionality of the mobile apps. The two printers, the two portable printers are, how can I say, working with cassettes. Cassettes in which you will have the label, but you will also have the ink. That means one unique cassette for both needs, and you don't have to have a look on both separately. All is in one cassette. You can use the same cassettes in the MP100 and MP300. The only limitation will be the width of the label. As we have seen previously, MP100 is limited to 1 inch, MP300 to 1.5. That means that 1.5 cassettes, you cannot use them in the MP100. But we will share with you a product bulletin about these printers after the webinar, and you will have all the details about which cassette can be used in which printer into this product bulletin. As you see on the screen, we have 43 cassettes were available at the moment we are speaking. So we have solutions like Turntel, like self-laminated cassettes, but also heat shrinks that are available today and that can be ordered today. And we will bring additional 39 cassettes in the coming months. The plan was to have them ready in April, May, but you all are aware about the supply chain difficulties in the world at the moment. And this is the reason why we had to postpone these a little bit. So these cassettes will be available, let me say, in September. That's the last information we have to share with you so far. But be also aware, the 43 cassettes that are today available covers more than 80% of the needs. The most common labels are available today. So let us move to the second polling question. Are you planning to invest in a printing solution in the short or medium term? We give you some minutes, or a minute, let me say it that way, to answer this question. So thank you for your answers. Yeah, so I see that there is a mix between mobile printers and desktop printers. Very nice to see. I see also that, yeah, some don't have projects in the future to invest in printing, but yeah, thank you really for this data, very interesting data. So, and I love the mix between mobile and desktop solutions. So thank you. So after let me say the plastic labels, I would like to talk about another identification solution that you can find in Panduit's portfolio, the permanent identification solutions using metal plates. This is what I have heard from Trident, a very common application in your countries. And this is not really a surprise because the markets that are highlighted on the screen are markets that are indeed present in high numbers in the Middle East. It goes from shipbuilding to oil and gas, mining, energy plants. Energy is really a growing market. I had the chance to read yesterday a study about the wind market and the high number of projects that are planned in the coming 5 years to, let me say, increase more than 3 or 4 times the existing resources. So really, this is a growing market. And in all these type of markets, all the applications you can face there, you will be, or these applications will need, let me say it that way, the usage of metal plates, metal tags in order to have a permanent identification for a long term. One of the solutions that we offer, it's not the only one, but it's the PES 400, the machine that you can see on the screen. This is an embossing system. That means that you emboss each plate with the needed characters. That means that over time, they will not disappear. They will be present in a long future, because I know from tests on stainless steel cable ties that even more than 30 years after the cable ties are still in place. So it's really a great solution for long-term identification, especially in harsh environments. So why should I use an automatic metal embossing machine? It's in order, again, to improve your efficiency, because embossing by hand, I will show you a hand tool in the next slide, offering the possibility, if you have only small volumes, to emboss the plates by yourself. But here really, it's to be more efficient, especially if you have a high number of marker plates to create, to generate. I mentioned it earlier, you can use EasyMark Plus also to drive and create labels with the PES 400. You see on the slide that we refer to the PES 197. So this was our previous embossing system. Perhaps some of you have seen it or are using it. it's still a great machine, but we needed to move to the next step. Let me say it that way. The PES 400 allows us to do this. Why? Because it offers an expanded character and symbol possibilities, and also two font sizes, 3 and 5 millimeters, when we had only one font size on the old PES 197 machine. You can also use more types of marker plates and tags on this new solution than on the old one. You see it here on the screen. Let me use my mouse. These are the larger plates that were fitting into the PES 197. Now you can also use such smaller ones, and here you see the larger characters and the smaller characters. And again, when it comes to efficiency, we are speaking also about speed of printing or embossing, printing for the plastic labels, embossing in this case. And you see that this PES 400 is 4 times faster than the PES 197. That means also more functionality, higher quality, and more efficiency if you select the PES 400 for your to create your marker plates. I mentioned it. PES 400 is for you need a certain number of marker plates to have a good return of investment when it comes to investing in such a solution. We have also permanent identification by hand. You see the tool, the MEHT 187, which is a tool that you can use with metal tapes, as well in stainless steel as in aluminium. And this gives you the ability to emboss labels directly. You are not limited. You can make the label as long as you want, because you have the raw material is a band in a, you see it here in a reel, and so you can generate very long labels, very short ones, but it's by hand. So it's really for small needs, but it's a nice solution. I know a certain number of customers using this solution, especially in oil and gas, in the chemicals, where they, in maintenance, where they make a smaller number of labels, of plates, and they are using such kind of solution. So PES 400, if you have medium to high volumes, MEHT 187 when it comes to small permanent identification needs. And this brings us to the third polling question. Do you currently or in the near future have a project requiring permanent stainless steel markers? We give you a minute again to answer the question. And again, thanks for your answers. Oh, again, a really mixed 50-50 in this case. So thank you for your answers. It's very helpful for us. So yeah, that's a good score, let me say, 50-50. We cannot do better. So let me summarize a little bit what we have discussed so far, and also present you some additional resources you can find if you have if you want more details about the Panduit identification solutions. So first of all, you don't have that on the slide, but we will share some documentation with you after this webinar. If you want to deepen more into the identification topic, you have, as you can see on the screen, access to more information. First of all, by visiting panduit.com. There you can find different videos about EasyMark Plus to see a little bit more the features of our software, and also how easy it is to deal with it. As mentioned, you can download a 90-day trial version. Do not hesitate to do that. It's certainly the best way to manipulate it and see how it works. You will also be able to download different additional brochures in addition to the ones we will provide you after the webinar. And you have more videos also on our YouTube channel. You have the address on the screen, where you will see EasyMark Plus videos, but also a lot of other videos about Panduit solutions. A few words about that in the next slides. So to summarize, let me say our message around identification. It's really Panduit and Trident are, let me say, the #1 partner when it comes to identification. We have really a complete solution, going from software to printers to labels to permanent identification, embossing systems, marker plates, portable devices, desktop devices. So we really cover the full spectrum of identification. Do not hesitate to contact Trident, the Trident team, or even myself, if you have questions or interest in these type of solutions. Before moving to the question and answer session, I would like to give you a quick review of Panduit as a company. Some of you know us since a long time. Some of you perhaps discover us today. So here are some more facts about Panduit that I would like to share with you. So I will not read all of them, but I let you discover them by yourself. I would just like to mention 3 points. First of all is that Panduit has more than 60 years of background. That means more than 60 years of innovation. This is also a way to say that we have a lot of great experience to support the market, but also you in your particular business. Because that's also one of the points that I would like to mention here. Panduit is a unique company. Why can I mention that? Because others will have a similar message, let me say. But really, we are unique as a company because Panduit is still a privately held company. This means that Panduit looks to the long term and do what's the best to meet our partners and customer needs. We do not have to deliver something to our shareholders. We really are dedicated to our customers, to our partners, to meet their needs, because that's the way we can be successful. So that's why I like to mention this, that we are really a unique company. One additional thing who covers both as well, the long experience and the unique company. You notice on the screen that we have 18 laboratories. So that's really a great number. And you see also that we have generated more than 2,000 patents. That's again a great number. So these two numbers show, let me say, how important R&D is inside Panduit. And I mentioned that often. As I mentioned, I'm at Panduit since 20 years. And when I met customers, discussed with them, at the time we were able to meet them in person, I often mentioned that Panduit is an engineering-driven company. And that's really a key element. So great experience, engineering-driven, and unique company, privately held. That's a message I would like to share with you on these slides. So in addition to the identification solutions we covered during today's presentation, Panduit has a broad portfolio of solutions to meet your needs, because that's key, as I indicated it for a few minutes. So at Panduit, we classify these solutions into 3 terms. Let me start with the first one. It's manage and identify. So it includes, in addition to the ID products we have seen in the different slides, also abrasion protection products like heat shrink, spiral wrap, pen wrap, the things you see in pictures on your screen. But it also includes all our innovative wiring duct solutions, as the one you see here, corner duct, DIN rail duct. So these are really innovative solutions that have been developed also in order to offer you, how can I say, a higher efficiency. And also, as we are here, let me say, in the control panel business, to reduce the footprint and the space needed in the panels. Just between you and me, also just a short comment. Panduit, in fact, is the contraction of the name panel conduit. And it comes from the history of Panduit, because Jack Kavanagh, our founder, started in his garage, like often in the US, this successful story by being the first one in the US developing wiring duct. And the name in the US for wiring duct is panel conduit. And Panduit is the contraction of the 2 words. Panel conduit, Panduit. Just a short additional info. The second term in our portfolio is connect, with products like the one you see on the screen. In this case, we are speaking about power connectors, terminals, ferrules, but not only about the products, the connectors alone, but also the tools, which can be hand tools or pneumatic tools, to crimp these connectors in an efficient way. So that's also a part of the solutions we can offer you. If you have interest in that, please let the Trident team know, and we will be happy to organize something for you on this subject. And the last theme, but for sure not the least one, as it represents, let me say, more than 50% of our revenue in what we name the electrical, the IEI side of the business at Panduit, is bundle, which includes in this case cable ties, but also a lot of different accessories like edge clips, mounts, all type of solutions to increase your efficiency, because that's really something that is key for our engineering development. We are not just developing products. We really take in consideration all what's around the product itself in order to make the most efficient solution. That's the reason why you can see here also quick build, It's the one here at the bottom right. This is a harness board fixture solution in order to give you the ability to build with more speed all the cable assemblies, the harness assemblies. And at the top right, you have also the pad system, which is an automated cable tie tool, giving you the ability to install a cable tie on a harness or on a cable in less than 1 second. So, as mentioned, the goal of all these solutions, not only the pad system, but really all what we have discussed today, is to bring you very high quality solutions, a high efficiency for all your work and all your projects. That's one of the key messages also I would like to share with you here. So this is, let me say, the last slide before we move to the question and answer part of the presentation. We are on time. We have 14 minutes to cover the questions. So I will ask Amal or if she received questions in the chat box that she would like to ask me.
Yes, thank you, Frederick, for the very informative session. Before we can start with the questions, I'd like to point out that at the end of the webinar, a survey will pop up on your screen to collect your feedback on today's session. Your input is highly appreciated as we're always looking to optimize our work to fit your expectations. Now we will be back to Fred with the first question asked, which is, what is the magnetic attachment accessory?
So in fact, these are two. Sorry, I don't have them here. In fact, it's a magnetic foot, if I can say it that way, with a screw that you put at the back of your MP300 printer, and these will give you the ability to fix it on from the magnetic side. On each metallic surface in order to be able to work with both hands on your control panel or on your installation and use just one hand on the keyboard to generate the label. So these are two magnetic foot with a screw that you can put at the back of the MP300 printer. I hope this answers the question.
The second question, are the MP printers available in all the Middle East countries?
Oh, that's a very, very good question. So, in fact, the situation is different from one country to the other. So it's really depending on the ME countries we are speaking about. So for Qatar, Egypt, and Kuwait, the MP printers, the MP100/E and the MP300/E, have received the compliance certificates and can be ordered now. In these three countries, we are able to deliver them at the moment we are speaking. For UAE and Saudi Arabia, the situation is a little bit more complex. Complex is perhaps not the right word. Let me say it's a little bit different, as we are still working on the compliance part. Because to be able to sell these two printers in these two countries, we have to make all the parts building the solution compliant. And you don't have only the printer, you have also the batteries and such kind of things. So this is a work which is still in progress. However, we expect to be ready to launch these two printers in UAE and Saudi Arabia before the end of 2021. One additional point that I would like to add at this stage and to answer this question is that the Trident team received some MP demo printers. That means that if you want to see them in person, want to see a demonstration or even get one in order to test such a printer, do not hesitate to contact your local contact at Trident, and they will be happy to demonstrate or show you these new printers. So yes, we are able to deliver MP100 and MP300 in some of the Middle East countries up from today. And we have some more delay for UAE and Saudi Arabia, but Trident team will keep you posted as soon as the printers will be available for these two countries. I hope also that this clarifies the situation.
Question number 3. Can I use EasyMark Plus software on more than one computer?
Oh, you like asking me challenging questions, I noticed. So that's great. So once again, it's a great question. And once again, I will need to, it has several answers. Let me say it that way. So if you buy, for example, a TDP-43 ME printer, you will have the EasyMark software delivered on a CD. If you order the CD version, or if you download the EasyMark Plus from our website, in these 3 cases, you will get only one license for EasyMark Plus. That means that you can install and run the software on one computer. However, if you want to be more flexible, let me say it that way, you can buy EasyMark Plus in the USB stick format. If you use the USB stick, you can effectively put the USB stick on your laptop, create your labels, save them, print them, save them, close your laptop, take the USB stick and use the USB stick on a different computer. So you get more flexibility. And the last option, because we have a third option, you can also order EasyMark Plus as a network server-based software. And in this case, you have access to multiple licenses agreements. So 3 answers. Yes, if you use CD website version, only one computer. If you use USB stick, you get more flexibility. And if you want to roll out the EasyMark Plus in a let me say company environment on different on a network base, we have also the solution for you. I hope this answers the question.
Thank you, Fred. I hope you all enjoyed Frederick's presentation for today, and it has expanded your knowledge on how to improve the quality of your productions or your assets by using Panduit Identification Solutions. Please, if you have any questions on the presentation, you can contact Frederick by his email address shown on the slide, or you can reach out to support@itrident.com. Once again, thank you all for attending today's sessions, and we're looking forward to see you in the upcoming Trident Academy session. Thank you, Frederick, very much for today.
You're welcome. Thanks to all of you for joining us today, and looking forward to meet you in a future webinar. Thank you.
Thank you. See you. Bye-bye.
Bye.